Hopefully not too greedy this time, or at least a little bit more careful with his scouting, try and figure out what Deer has planned.
Yeah. I guess he just didn't foresee Deer going that aggressive, that all in on that map. Even though we were talking about how Protoss just kind of had to do that, let's see how he's going to respond here on Cactus Valley right now. Here in the top right in the blue, our Protoss player fighting tooth and nail to get back into this series, and he has done it. It is Deer.
Bottom right, once again, soO dropping the last 2 games. Play a little bit more careful now. This is the match point. Whoever wins this game gets out a challenger.
And how crazy would it be if soO drops out here to Deer in a best of 5?
It'd be crazy, and it'd be pretty sad.
Yeah.
Because he really is like one of the top Zergs, and he just hasn't been finding the traction here in these individual leagues this year compared to his Pro League performance, where he's on top, like he's one of the best.
Yeah. He's wrecking Protosses that are even better than Deer. You know, Deer's a pretty mid-level Protoss. He goes around 50% win ratio these days in Pro League. But soO's taken out better. He just can't find that success so far.
Here we go, just a standard opening. Considering how early that scout was, he's going to throw down that 15 pool, afraid of any sort of forge opening. And I'm sure we're going to see a Nexus first because of this reason.
Yep. So, you know, just push the probe out, maybe go for a decently early third base on the back of that. Not a bad idea. Just going to be annoying with this probe. Nicely done. It's going to take forever to soO to get rid of this probe. So annoying.
Such a pain.
Yeah.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, Nexus actually up before that hatchery as well. Little advantage there for Deer in this game as well.
It's like continues to go for forge after Nexus first.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, especially this time around. It kind of makes sense as well, though, because he wants to try and block it off and stop the damage. If you go gateway, then Lynx have a chance to poke that front for a little while longer.
Maybe he just knows what soO is capable of. You know, we oftentimes do see Protoss going Nexus first in the gateway. It's very greedy, but usually a lot of the Zerg players are pretty passive that we see these days. So
2 Link's going to make their way up. Not really enough to do too much damage.
Yeah, especially with the cannon already on the way. This probe going to be annoying once again.
Yeah.
Same guy.
Same guy, man. Just a really annoying dude. He could
Some
throw down
people, man.
He could throw down a pylon if he wants to this time as well, which would create so much disruption, but not gonna.
Some probes, man.
Well, Cannon gonna finish up. Should get rid of these Lings and unblock his base. All is good in the world. Kind of liking the position from Deer to start things off.
Yeah. Gets that very fast Nexus. Delays both hatcheries. Come on. soO, though, you know, he's comfortable playing from this position. I'm sure he won't be too annoyed.
Now, I wonder what Deer has planned for the mid game here. I think we might see him just simply go for that 3-base Stalker Sentry sort of build. It makes so much sense on this map. It's such a hard map to fight into with the ridiculous chokes outside your natural.
Yeah, so many rams, so many chokes. There's so many ways to abuse that with Blink and Force Fields. It's just, it's horrifying sometimes the games we see on this map, to be honest.
Yeah.
And knowing Deer, he's a smart guy. I don't think he's gonna just like randomly do another all-in just because it's working. I think he's gonna play this map out. This is game 5. This is for all the marbles.
Yep. That's what it all comes down to. Despite those ridiculously one-sided 2 games to start things off.
Yeah. It was kind of the same feeling that I got from the first series, where Myungshake like wrecked Journey in the first 2 games, and soO wrecked Deer in the first 2 games, but then they slowly fought back.
It's kind of the exact same thing, yeah. It's also weird because Myungshake and soO seem like such, higher level players than these other two guys, but they're finding their way back in through these scrappy games. He's going to get a free overload. I believe, maybe? Oh, maybe not. Just out.
Wow, really close. So he's going to go for a Stargate first. I guess this is one way to secure your third base at least.
Yeah, definitely the safe way of approaching it. Yeah. Get it out. We did see soO really invest in a lot of lings in his previous games. Like, he's clearly happy with delaying that Roach Warren for as long as he can. Just make links to defend / attack while he turns up these 3 bases. So Oracle makes a lot of sense. I do like this decision.
Yeah, soO desperately trying to find out the information that is held in Deer's base, but can't find much. This Overlord is going to be seen now by the Moser Corps. He should be able to go down.
Yep. There's that third base. Doesn't look like soO has any plans to be aggressive either. Making some roaches now, and double. The double.
This is actually really smart because soO has not been able to get any scouting information done in the base of Deer. So if you can hide those two, soO is not the type of player to just randomly throw down 3 safe spores. He's been playing pretty greedy. He's made only drones up to 62 once again.
It's actually kind of ridiculous at this point as well, because what if it was DTs? You know, what if 4 DTs ran to your third, killed your hatchery, bam, you've lost the game. That's all it takes, and he hasn't made these safety spores. He might make them now, though. He did get a view of those 2 oracles.
I don't think he saw it, and he's making only drones.
Oh, no.
He may lose every drone at that main.
I think he will, Valdez. I think he's about to. Unless he goes for the queen first and buys some time.
Here we go. Immediately focusing down all the drones, trying to run away. These oracles are decently sturdy. Take a bunch of hits, getting more and more kills here at the natural, just not having these spores up in time.
Not having these spores at all. 16 drones going down at this point.
18.
Sorry, 18.
Maybe able to get number 19 here.
That's like wiping out a mineral line. That's wiping out 1 base, Valdez. 1 whole base just got eliminated.
Yep, forcing soO to make 12 more drones here that he didn't honestly want to make, and he's going straight into Hive.
Oh, man. And, yeah, it looks like he is going to go for that Roach Hydra Viper composition, but it's so much slower now because he lost that much income and minerals. And behind us, we are seeing that +2 on the way, Blink Stalker on the way. It's going to be that Sentry Stalker style like we suggested, why we thought it is such a great map for it, and now he has that momentum behind it.
Well, soO remaking that big number of drones is going to sit on 76 for his 3 bases for now and just transition into that composition like you were saying. I think Deer's got a decent idea about this, especially now he's sending a bunch of hallucinations into the main. He's going to see the Hive timing, the Hydra Den. I mean, he's got all the information he could ever want, so he can choose and decide how to respond to this very easily, especially after doing that much damage.
Yeah, I think he has a great shot at just going for a timing attack. Once he's got that +2 on the way, once he's got Blink finished, he's even thinking about adding Templars. Okay, I like this too, though. You know, you take it later, make that army that's going to have Storm and feedback, and then the Zerg, with this kind of composition, cannot really even fight the Protoss. They have to just constantly be avoiding these Storms, getting put out of position through that as well as force fields.
It's going to be pretty brutal, to be honest, here for soO. I mean, like you said, Deer making the perfect composition, and he's just taking his time with this one, man. He's not rushing anything. He knows how much damage he did.
It is a very smarter way to play this kind of very important game. It is the one game that you cannot make a mistake in. Even keeping that Oracle alive, you know, for Revelation a little bit later on, you see where that army is so you can feed back any Viper on the map.
This is kind of the way that Classic plays against Zerg. He just gets some damage done with Oracles, and then he sits on 3 bases. Maybe takes a 4th base sometime a bit later, and then just, you know, waits for the Zerg to try to do damage, but the Zerg is maxed out on inefficient units. Can't find that damage, as you're saying. He can't fight the army straight up, and the Protoss just slowly gets the perfect army.
And that Warp Prism as well, full of Zealots. Going to really put the Zerg out of position once again, or force them to commit to a fight that they don't really want but have to take because they're losing a base for it. That main is completely exposed, no defense whatsoever, no static. Nice blinding clouds there.
That is a beautiful blinding cloud.
Oh.
Deer can't even fight right now. There's 1 choke, 1 blinding cloud, gets that all down.
Ugly. ugly positioning there. Looks like they will trade pretty efficiently in terms of harassment. The units are getting whittled out, and look at that storm.
There are the storms, and the force field's finally coming in, but more Zerg units pouring in from the back. A blink forward onto a bunch of Hydras may not be enough. Hydras there, but at the same time, a bunch of Zealots doing a lot of damage in the main, forcing all of the drones off the line, and a bunch of units to come back and defend.
Yeah, very efficient play. In the end of all things, I'd definitely give Deer the advantage in that one. And he's got that Warp Prism still full of Zealots once again, just waiting for the next move out. And it looks like soO is simply going to stay on this composition. He's like, well, I have to make something happen. He did trade pretty well. He did have that very, very perfect blinding cloud. Still wasn't enough. Storm was still out in time.
Look at this. All the units of soO are just not there. And he's harassing from 2 locations right now, Deer is. Just going to come over here, trade with some of the Zerg units. Kill 6 drones in total in the main end at the 4th base and just blink away.
Beautiful harassment with these Blink Stalkers, picking off what they can. It's buying more time for this army to get bigger and bigger and hard counter what we see from soO.
Yeah, just getting more and more upgrades. You know, that Warp Prism in the main isn't even dealt with. Oh, the Viper's down the map, going to snipe one of them.
That is such an important kill.
Yeah,
that
only
was
losing like 1 or 2 Stalkers there.
Completely worth it, right?
Yeah. And now soO's kind of pulling an innovation in the middle of the map. He's like, I just chased those Blink Stalkers all the way across, and like, I don't know what to do with my army. I guess I'll kill these rocks.
It's one of these awkward positions here, and look at how many roaches he's made as well. He has way too many roaches for this many Immortals. 35 roaches on the map.
There are 6 Immortals on the map.
6
the
Immortals.
7th one on the way.
Not to mention Storm as well, which is also a pretty hard counter to Roach Hydra in general. Force Fields also. And here we go. He's found the army. There's only 1 Viper.
I do like the fact that soO's trying to force a fight out in the middle of the map instead of at those brutal chokes near his base.
Yeah.
He's saying, like, you're not going to get close to my base ever again. I'm going to stay out here in the middle of the map. Just wait.
Revelation on that Viper.
Beautiful concave here from soO, but the storms raining down on all of those roaches. So many of them in the orange and red.
And this is just a fight you can't take if you're fighting against Storm like this. The one redeeming thing is that there's not many sentries at all.
Yeah, that's the one thing, but at this point, who needs sentries when you got this many Storms and Immortals? And look at all the Zealots harassing at the 4th base and the main. There's nothing to defend this.
No, it's just going to be too much damage. Now he's pulling the army apart as well. Big chunks of it going down to the main army. Oh, man. These Zealots are just doing too much. They could kill what's there as well. And here we go for an awkward fight from soO. The last-ditch effort, I think.
8 Immortals fighting with this army right now. Enough Blink Stalkers to be efficient. Taking a gigantic fight. GG Deer moves on over soO. In a couple of brutal games there, that soO was just not able to win. And Deer, nicely done to claw his way back. Playing the maps very well.
Yep, playing the maps very well. Very smart play in the last 3 games. And soO out yet again. He's just not finding any traction in these individual leagues, man.
Yeah, you know, maybe just a bit of, you know, those first 2 games, the way that soO was playing, he was just like, okay, these are smaller maps. I won't even let you get to that later stage where I know I won't really have much of a chance. But I don't know, man, not really able to pull it through there. And guys, we're going to have our next match, Maru versus Sora, coming up right next after a 10-minute break. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.